Boom, we're live. What's up, Ward Wrestling Live? We're here with a another amazing wrestling mind wrestler in our country. He was the first signee for St. Thomas U's new wrestling program down in Miami Gardens. He was a former assistant coach at his alum, Barbara Coleman High School. He wrestled prior at Iowa Central, Ozarks, and I think you spent a little bit of time at Life U too, right?
Yeah.
Now he's back home. It was one of his goals was to get back home, and he's with us today. Jesus Perez. What's up, my brother, man? Thanks so much for reaching out and coming on. Man, it's an honor to have you.
Yeah, honor to be on. Thank you for having me.
For sure, man. Well, first things first. I know you're back home, but this summer has kind of been different, huh?
Yeah, it's been, the difference between this summer and all the other summers I've ever had is like night and day. Pretty much trying to find places to train has been difficult. Like every other year I'd have a plethora of places to go and train at and do stuff with the wrestling community down here and wherever else I'd be. But right now, I only probably know like two or three off the top of my head that are actually training and doing stuff.
Yeah, it's been tough to get into a room, huh?
Yeah, but fortunately, I've been, fortunate enough to actually go into, rooms and actually get some training in.
Man, that's nice. So, making the transition back home to Hialeah, Miami Gardens, South Florida, that whole area where you're from. Uh, I was reading that it's almost like a dream come true for you. You've really wanted to
Yeah,
stay wrestling at home, and you
I've
always
always, yep, yeah, it is a dream come true.
yeah. And you had mentioned I was reading an article where you said I always wish they had a college program in South Florida so I could stay home. Well, they have one, and you made it, and you're there. So, man, talk about that transition. And I know you've kind of done the tour a little bit, but what does it mean to now be back home, be the first signee of your hometown wrestling college, and kind of be back around family and friends?
It's awesome. To me, it's a great advantage to have that because, I don't know when they're going to let people in, to see me wrestle or not, but it'd be great to have them all there, all my family, all my close friends being at St. Thomas, seeing me wrestle, seeing what we could do. It's truly been an honor for me to be the first guy to actually sign on, make history for the entire school. Like, that's humbling. Like, I'm the first guy. It could have been anyone else, but I'm the first guy to actually sign the dotted line. Actually, hey, I'm actually going to go all in on this, and I've been on it all in on this. So,
And that's pretty awesome. Now, um, after you, have they been able to fill their roster already? Has recruiting been tough
yeah,
with
yeah,
COVID?
we actually have about like 30 guys on the team.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be pretty. Being down in South Florida, you gotta. It's become a hotbed of wrestling, in at least in the state, and you really
Yeah,
got a ton of programs from that Broward County line, the Palm Beach County line, all the way down to Monroe County. Wrestling has really flourished, so I'd imagine they're able to get some good picks of the litter down there, huh?
oh yeah, and we only don't have guys from South Florida. I mean, most of the guys are, but we have a couple guys from Northern Florida, from Central Florida. We actually have a couple guys from Indiana came down here and wrestled, and also we also have a Russian on the team too, which is yeah,
So
yeah,
making big moves down there. Uh,
yeah.
the coach that you had, you said he came from. Is he from Indiana originally?
No, he wrestled at Purdue, University of Purdue. He was an All-American there in 2009. He wrestled 149. After that, um, he's got into coaching, but he's from down here originally. He was a state champ at St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I remember that name as a football powerhouse when I was growing up.
and also his brother is also going to be on the staff, and he wrestled at Purdue as well. And then his grandfather was a national champ at Purdue also. So
Oh, very cool. Yeah, when you said kids were coming from Indiana, I said, well, he's got to have some ties there.
Yeah, definitely.
Coach Alex De Armas said Coach Paddock, I hope I don't screw this up, Coach Patascil has been recruiting a bunch of South Florida studs. So good for you guys up there and or down there. And
shout out to him. He's actually been pretty good for me. You know, when I was in high school, he never coached me, but he was always there because I trained with Nestor Verona. I went before you know, Alexis got his whole club started at Maximum Performance before he went to Doral. Him and Verona were tight, so I was around him too.
Yeah, I think I had Verona's kid on.
Yeah, Elijah.
Man, what an animal! What a story.
That story inspires me a lot. Actually, he won state on one leg, pretty much.
Yeah, I've asked. I've had some kids that were in the South Dade room after states, and I'm like, how the hell does that work out now? Like, if you come up to like coach and you're like, hey, Coach B, I'm in some pain. He's like, what? Hey, Verona, tell him what pain's like. That guy just won on an ankle break.
Yeah, no. When I was an assistant at Goleman this season, I did the same thing. Whenever, coach, my shoulder hurts, you know, I can't tie up. I'm like, dude, there was a guy from South Dade who won state on one leg. I don't want to hear any excuses from you guys. You guys
Let me pull up the video.
Exactly. I showed them and they're like, wow, that's amazing. Like, I didn't know that could happen. I don't know it's possible. You know, they're blown away by that.
Yeah, what's crazy is he said it really, you know, he's always, you know, down there, they have him do some freestyle, they have him do some Greco, they have him do, you know, all different styles. And he never understood how important it was until it came to that situation. He said if he had never studied Greco and understood how to use his upper body the right way, he doesn't know if he could have accomplished it. So
yeah, wrestling all three styles is, you know, fundamental to be, you know, a successful wrestler. You know, once you have all those tools in your toolbox in your back pocket, you could use them whenever you want, whenever you need to see fit. You can make adjustments.
Now you wrestled at Barbara Coleman, right? Barbara Coleman High School?
Yeah, I actually started wrestling in 6th grade at Hialeah Gardens Middle School. I was also part of their first team, their first year. I was the first wrestler. But it's different now than it was back then, because back then I saw wrestling on a flyer and I thought it was WWE. I thought I was going to be jumping off the ropes and everything. But then once I got there, I'm like, okay, this is different than what I expected, but I like it, so I'm going to stick with it. You know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of good. I talked to the coaches that started Matter Lakes.
Yeah, they're actually friends of mine too. JD and Brandon. They're great guys, great mentors, great coaches. They're doing great things at Matter Lakes.
Yeah, what's really cool is I had Coach Eric Perez on, who started a little private school program up there. He's also a law enforcement officer up in, I think it's Broward County. And he said, man, I met those dudes through your show. When I saw them on and they talked about how they built this program from scratch, and I'm starting a program from scratch, I reached out to them, and now they've been so helpful over the last few months, teaching them, you know, telling them what to do and what they did. And it was a cool story because you don't know if anybody's watching or not.
Yeah, right, exactly. You never know.
And you know, people are watching, but like, is it meaning something? Are you creating relationships? Is your voice, you know? And so when you hear someone come back and say that, you're like, wow, that's cool. That's cool. I put someone together, right? So cool. Well, talk about growing up in Hialeah in South Florida, growing up in the sport of wrestling. You said you got into it in 6th grade off a flyer.
A flyer in the cafeteria.
Yeah, and now you know, fast forward, what's that? How many years ago was
10
that?
years.
10 years ago. So
I was 12. I'm 22 now.
Over the last 10 years, you know, talk about the growth of wrestling down there in South Florida and all these hotbeds now, these clubs that have opened up that maybe you didn't have access to. There was probably only a handful when you were coming up, and now there's one everywhere.
Yeah, it's grown tremendously over the course of 10 years from when I started to now. It's grown tremendously. We've always had a hotbed, But now it's just grown because there's more people getting into it, more people being interested and invested in the sport of wrestling, seeing how great this sport is. So, and growing up in Hialeah, there wasn't, usually clubs. So I'd have to go drive, to Kendall, down south to get more wrestling, get more mat time in.
Yeah, and that's I mean, I know when I was growing up, that was a baseball hotbed was Hialeah. It wasn't wrestling or there was
Yeah.
football going on because football happens in Florida, but that was baseball heaven there.
Yeah. Down here, it's baseball, football, basketball. You see people every other park playing those sports, but you don't really see many people talking about wrestling, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've seen it growing, and I'm glad to see that the PALs are getting involved again. I talked to the guys
Yes.
that have Winwood, and
Yeah.
great. What an unbelievable set of dudes that are doing big things down there for the kids, and the
No, they've
coach
done
at
incredible work.
South Miami and the coach, Duck and B, what they're doing down there for the kids is just it's great to see. I mean, they're the pioneers, Duck and B, right? And then you also had the guy, what do they call him, Mr. Wrestler? The coach at oh man, he coached my Uncle Mike at Curly High when my uncle,
Curly, I don't think they have a program anymore.
no, he was,
Last time they had a program was probably like my sophomore year. We dueled them. I think they only had like 4 guys. It was
yeah,
like 2014.
no, he's at Miami. Oh man, I can't remember. Damn, I'm getting old.
That's okay.
They call him the wrestling pioneer or something down there. Oh, oh well, sorry. I'm sure. Yo, Armas, help me out, dude. Who's this wrestling dude? I can't remember. I'm going nuts. Maybe I took too much medication this morning. Oh man, so college moving forward. You're a junior, right?
Yeah, no, finally I'm a junior. Finally
Jim
got
Husk. Jim Husk. Thank you, Alan Held. The big Jim Husk. I almost had him on once.
Yeah, the coach at Columbus.
Yeah, I almost had him on once.
He's a great dude. He's a great dude.
Really good dude, and I'm sorry I forgot the name. I've only met about 300 people through this process.
Right. No,
Yeah, sorry guys, I got to drink more coffee this morning, get myself up.
definitely.
But talk about what your college goals are moving forward there at St. Thomas, and then what are you looking to do after college? Are you looking to get into the business world, or give back to the sport, or go on and try and compete at another level? UFC?
Yeah.
What's next for you?
Yeah, I have pretty lofty goals, and they sound crazy. But I also want to be the first All-American, first national champ at St. Thomas. But there might be guys who could do that before me because I wrestle 197. So I wrestle the second to last weight class. So a guy at 25 or 33, 41 could do that before me. But I want to be one of the first ones to do it.
Nice.
And also I want to be an academic All-American because now I'm serious with school. In the past, I've been, aloof with that. Oh, it's just wrestling. No, wrestling and academics are important too, because without the academics, you can't wrestle.
And you've learned that from experience?
Yeah, I learned that from experience, both, high school and college. So, college is a lot tougher than high school.
That's how we learn in life, right? We've got to make failures. We've got to
and you
step
learn
over our own feet, and we got to walk into walls and trees, and then we go, okay, well, shit, I don't want to do that again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also after college, what I want to do is I'm majoring in sports administration. So, but I want to get into coaching after college. That's what I want to do. And then also want to fight after college. So the picture you put up with me with the UFC belt.
Yeah. That's a goal.
I want to do that after college. But I was actually contemplating on doing that. Like midway, I'm like, you know what? Screw all this. I'm going to fight. But once I was actually in there a month in training, I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't me. I need to finish what I started first. Then I could do this. I have more than enough time to do this. I'm young. I'm 22. I don't need to be doing this now. I need to finish school, finish wrestling first, then do that.
Hey, and a lot of us, we have a point in life where we remember and we look back and we go, that changed me. That was a defining moment. And maybe that was yours, realizing like, hey, let me go do what I finished, do what I
Yeah.
started and get it done. And then I can get back and do what I want. And it's awesome. Hey, and I mean, there's definitely a lot of backyard brawling in Miami. So I'm sure you can find
Yeah,
you
with
can find a yard to throw down in.
yeah, Jorge Masvidal made that famous, man.
Well, even before him,
Yeah,
the
Bo Slice and all those guys.
yeah, but Masvidal is definitely is different level because he's a real true martial artist that came out and he wasn't just a one. Not that Kimbo
I
Slice.
actually met him too. I actually met him at a UFC event in Sunrise. I met him. I did a little face off with him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean he's not that Kimbo Slice is a beast, but Masvidal has a well-rounded game and he's doing big things. And now
yeah,
people recognize the backyard brawls, right?
yeah. He actually did pretty good defending the takedowns against Kamaru Usman. I mean, he was working with Bo Nickel. He was working with one of the
Listen,
best
I
wrestlers.
think that if he has a full training camp, um, I don't know if he. I don't know if he. I'd love to see him win, but
Yeah, so
I
would
don't.
I.
I don't
He's
know. I don't
Miami
know if
boy.
he would or not. But if he had a full 6 weeks with Bo Nickel
Oh
and
man,
his training camp to really um, get ready, we'll see. But I don't. Dude's got. I know
I'd
there's.
want to see that again for
Yeah,
sure.
me too, man. That wrestling was nice. So, where do you think you'd be without wrestling right now?
Where would I be without wrestling? I've actually been asked that a couple times by other people. My other friends who didn't wrestle this and that, but they did other sports, like they did football and baseball and all that. And me without wrestling, wrestling's given me everything in my life. Like it's given me direction, it's given me accountability. Taught me how to to work hard. Taught me how to dedicate myself, apply myself to anything in life, not just wrestling, but to anything. I don't know where I'd be without wrestling, honestly.
That's awesome, man. And it was pretty cool when you reached out and told me, "Hey, you're doing good things," and I was
Yeah.
like, "That means a lot coming from Jesus." I was like, "Yeah, Jesus gave me some props." I was like, "I'm down," but I know it's Jesus, but
Yeah. Some call me Jesus. Like when I was up in Iowa, they called me Jesus. Some called me Jesus. Whatever it is, it's the same name at the end of the day.
yeah, Brandon Neifeld said Jesus, and then he said, "See you tonight for a scrap, brother."
Yeah, I'll be there. He's a great guy too.
Yeah, tell him to, man, come on, bring it. Let's get them all on. Uh,
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to your coach. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I've had I've really had a lot of NAI coaches on, and it's been awesome, men and women, and it's been really cool for me to learn about the NAIA because um, what a platform to be able to go to school, to get an education, and they've got a great wrestling conference. So uh,
Yes.
obviously we understand what a Division I wrestler is, um, but you don't have to be a Division I wrestler to be successful in life. Keep that
Exactly.
goal, keep dreaming big, keep wanting that, and try to make it there. But life's not over if you end up at a D2 or D3 or NAI.
No, not even.
There's so many opportunities that are coming from that. And listen, occasionally I've spoke to athletes that were D1 athletes that transferred to the smaller schools. Just
Yeah.
the
I
big
know.
classroom setting wasn't for them. They like the one-on-one. They like to know who their teacher is. They don't like to be checked in by like a pitch count when you're walking into a big auditorium. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, a lot of different things.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, junior college, even club, even NCAA. They're all life-changing opportunities. Life is definitely not over if you don't go D1. All right. I didn't have any D1 offers. So but I still wanted to pursue the dream. I still wanted to do it. So I came at it all with full throttle.
And and you're still going, man. Still got your foot on the gas pedal.
I got 2 years left. So
Man, that's great. So I know you spoke a little bit about being the first commit to St. Thomas. Um, But what ultimately made you decide, hey, I want to come home?
Besides that, I mean, I was getting a little homesick, not gonna lie to you. That's what it was. But other than that, because I like, Iowa Central, once I got my associates, it was a 2-year school, so I left after that. And then trying to find a home. And then I'm like, I think I want to go home and regroup and see what I want to do after that. I was contemplating going away again. But then after that, I'm like, I really wish there was a program down here. So I just, kept training, kept working. And then an opportunity found me. So I'm like, I'm going to take it. It's a good school, great location. It's 10 minutes from my house. I'm in my house right now, but I could hop on my car and drive right over there. It's a big difference from, driving 10 minutes versus me 3 years ago. I drove from my house to Iowa Central, which was like a 23-hour drive.
and you can't get any rice and beans up in Iowa, can you?
No rice and beans. You got to cook them yourself.
You gotta cook them yourself.
There's no cafecito, colada, pastelitos at the window in the cafeteria. None of that stuff over there.
Yeah, I tell people that I guess I'm 44 now, so my dad won't get too mad at me, but sometimes you dip out of school early, and you go out to like Calle Ocho or Hialeah, and they had those little window spots. You'd walk up and you'd get a big thing of toast and food for like $1.50. And we used to call it like Cuban crack, that little Cuban coffee. And it would get you, man, it would get you jazzed. You'd be happy.
Yeah, Cuban crack's addicting.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
My grandma makes it every morning.
Nice. Love it. All right, are you ready for the 10 questions?
Shoot on them.
All right, so tostones or plantains?
That's a tough question because I love both of them, but I prefer tostones.
All right. Flan or quesitos?
Flan.
That Cuban toast or the fried eggs?
Not toast all day.
Yeah, extra butter.
Tanto mantequilla, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Papa relleno or empanada?
Empanada.
I always mess. Tres leche or pastelitos?
Pastelitos. You could get them all sorts. You could get meat. You could get guava, cheese, anything in there. Tastes good.
So in Miami, that Argentinian flair has really stepped up their game over the years, but you still have that Cuban funk. So you go with the skirt steak or the flank steak?
Skirt steak.
You go with the arroz con frijoles negro or garbanzos?
Shoot. Garbanzos for the protein. I like the taste. Usually, some people would go the other way, but my girl makes some great garbanzo beans, so I'm biased.
Got to shout her out.
Yeah, shout out to my grandma.
All right, that you like the Cuban sandwich or the medianoche?
Cuban sandwich.
The cola champagne or the Malta?
Malta.
All right, you already mentioned this earlier, but the cafecito or the colada?
They're both great, but I gotta get up and running. I gotta go with a colada. Shout out that.
It's so good. And when I was in the car business and I managed car dealerships, and I'd show up in the morning with one of those big cups and little plastic cups, and all the guys and girls would come running in and they'd be happy as hell. I'd be giving them shots and stuff, and we would have a blast, man. Hey, man, this has been really fun, man. I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to have you come on here.
Well,
Talk
it's been really
about
fun.
St. Thomas wrestling, wrestling down there where you're at, and welcome home, man. It sounds to me you went off and got your AA. You got that under your belt. Made some tough decisions, and you decided to move forward and stay the course. And I'm sure big things are going to happen for you in life, man. Yeah, man, and thanks for the support. I mean, thanks for always watching, and I can't thank people enough for that. Without you guys watching, what's the purpose,
Right.
So
yeah, my best days are not behind me, but my best days are ahead of me. The best is yet to come for me,
sure, man.
And also for St. Thomas Wrestling. We're just starting, but we're going to be an immediate problem for everyone else.
I'm sure there's going to be a great rivalry down there with you and Kaiser, right?
It's Kaiser and Southeastern. We're actually getting a duel. It's gonna be called the Cup Duel, the Florida Cup Duels. And I
Nice.
think it's gonna be in Southeastern. But when is that gonna happen? I don't know, because they've been, going back and forth with starting in November versus starting it in January. Pretty
Well,
much taking it.
I got to experience one of those tournaments last year. I'd never been to Southeastern, and a really close friend of mine is one of the athletic directors there. So he invited me down with my son and some of his friends, and it was fun to watch. So hopefully it happens. Hopefully I can get invited again. I'm sure it just takes a phone call, and I'll see you guys there, and that'll be fun. And man, go get your coffee from abuela.
Already had it.
Perfect. Nice, man. Well, thank you so much, man. Anybody you have down there, any friends you have that want to come on that you feel like, man, should get their voice heard, man, you know how to get a hold of me.
Definitely. I did refer to you. I referred my coach to you also. So if you want, I'll send you his info.
Awesome.
I have other friends too that'd probably want to come on if once they know who you are and then what you've been doing, they'd love to come on.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Have them go. I recommend going to my Facebook page or going to my YouTube page and looking at the interviews. And if you like what I'm doing, man, I'd love to come on and let's do it. If you don't, then don't come on. Whatever. But I got a purpose and I'm just trying to do my thing,
For sure. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working out great. It's awesome.
I'll do it, man. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you once this whole thing is on the other side.
Likewise, come watch us wrestle.
For sure. Definitely.